Hello, hi everyone. I am your Badachi. Now I am going to teach you something about impossible conditional sentence. Dear students, impossible conditional sentence in English is also called third conditionals. Third conditionals. Or some people would also like to call it unfulfilled conditional sentence. Unfulfilled conditional sentence. Okay, impossible conditional sentence is called third conditionals or unfulfilled conditional sentence. For example, if the doctor had come in time, the baby would have survived. If the doctor had come in time, the baby would have survived. Please see the sentence. This is a conditional sentence type 3. Here what happens? Usually conditional sentence begins with if, right? A clause which begins with if is called conditional clause. So, the conditional clause is if the doctor had come in time. This is a conditional clause. And the baby would have survived. What is this clause called? This clause is called main clause in English. Please remember. So, we have got two clauses. Conditional clause, you know that, which always begins with if, and next one is main clause. Main clause always begins with subject. Okay? Please observe the sentence. Conditional clause. The subject of conditional clause is the doctor, and had plus past participle form is there. So it's a sign of the simple past perfect tense. Do you know? The past perfect tense is given. The conditional clause is in the past perfect tense. And what is the sign of past perfect tense? Had plus past participle form. Had plus past participle form is found. If it is found in the sentence, then we can say the sentence is in the past perfect tense. Okay? And the main clause begins with subject, I told you earlier. Here it contains would plus have plus past participle form. Would have plus past participle form is given. Here in the place of main clause may consists of subject, okay, plus would have plus past participle form. Okay, and past perfect tense, you know it. Subject, had plus past participle form. Had plus past participle form, if it's found in the sentence, we say that the past perfect tense. And in the main clause, subject would have plus ppf. Usually we use would have plus past participle forms. And sometimes you can use even could have. to mean would have been able to. Okay, plus past participle form. And sometimes you can also use might have plus ppf to mean perhaps, would have been, perhaps would have, possibly would have, probably would have can be used here. Would have is commonly used. Sometimes could have past participle form is used to mean would have been able to. Might have plus past participle is used to mean probably would have, probably would have, or perhaps would have. I hope this point is clear. For example, this is the first example. Second example, before going to second example, one more idea you have to keep in mind, that is, usually conditional clause comes first and main clause comes next. Sometimes main clause comes before conditional clauses. For example, he would have caught the bus if he had run a bit faster. See here, he would have caught the bus if he had run a bit faster. He would have caught the bus if he had run a bit faster. Please remember, if clause has come after the main clause. You know that we use past perfect tense in the if clause and would have plus past participle form in the main clause to talk about past situations in order to mean that didn't happen. If he had run a bit faster, it means he didn't run faster. He didn't run a bit faster. So, what happened? He didn't catch the bus. Unfulfilled conditional sentence. As I told you, we use past perfect tense in the if clause, would have plus past participle form in order to speak the past situations that didn't happen in past. Okay? And one more example. If it had rained, comma, if you use the if clause initially and main clause next, before main clause or after conditional clause, we are supposed to use comma. For example, if it had rained, we would have postponed the match. If it had rained, we would have postponed the match. It means it didn't rain, so there was no chance to postpone the match. It means unfulfilled. Third conditional sentence indicates unfulfilled action. If it had rained means it didn't rain, so we wouldn't have postponed the match. Okay. Fourth example, see here. If he had enough money, he would have had one more car. Okay. If he had had enough money, he would have had one more car. For example, see here. If he had had enough money, he would have had one more car. In this sentence, had is helping verb. This had is main verb. In the second sentence, this have is helping verb. Had is main verb. So it indicates perfect tense. Okay? And sometimes, please remember, last example, we use a simple past tense with if clause and past would have plus past participle form in main clause. This is more common in American English. Sometimes it happens. Okay? For example, if I knew he was coming home, if I knew he was coming home, I would have brought one more cake. If I knew he was coming home, this is simple past and past continuous mix is there. Okay, here you see here. I would have brought one more cake. Here would have plus past participle form can be used. It is possible, and this structure is more common in American English. Dear students, I hope you came to know how to form impossible conditional sentences in English. Impossible conditional sentence is also called third conditionals or unfulfilled conditional sentence. Here these conditional sentences will have two clauses, if clause and main clause. If clause will have past perfect tense and main clause will have subject plus would have plus past participle form, could have plus past participle form, or might have plus past participle form. And here conditional clause may also come after the main clause, but usually conditional clause comes first and main clause comes next. This is what we have to keep in mind here. Dear students, I hope you came to know something about impossible conditional sentences. If this video has helped you in understanding impossible conditional sentences, please like it, share it and subscribe to my channel for all my videos. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. With one more interesting video, I'd like to see you next time. Till then, bye.